Hey, what's up everyone? It's Conrax here, and I hope you all had an absolutely fantastic Christmas. And in today's video, I want to talk about Battlefield 2042 and why I think this game is doomed to fail if these developers make this poor decision. But just before I get into it, if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, leave me a like on the video and go in the comment section and tell me what you think right now of Battlefield 2042. A lot of you guys left a lot of comments on my last video that I did about Battlefield 2042 and its current state, and left a ton of constructive criticism about this game, which is what DICE needs to hear. DICE need to hear our opinions so they can go ahead and make changes for the better in this game. But now that we're on to the topic of changes, it's important now that we talk about what Battlefield needs to do to become that game that we want it to be. Now, it actually brings me on to the topic of this video, which is if Battlefield doesn't start to make changes very, very soon, we're going to see a very rapid decline in the player base for this game, and the player numbers are just going to keep getting worse. It's not necessarily that Battlefield 2042 is a terrible, terrible game by any means, but right now it just seems to be like a complete shell of what this game could possibly be. The game doesn't seem to have any kind of identity, and it almost feels soulless, so to say, which is where this very topic of content comes into play. So I recently saw a tweet posted by a Twitter user called Temporal, who is a very respected and well-known data miner, and he recently posted a tweet about Battlefield 2042 and some of the details that he managed to uncover in the game files. One of the main ones I instantly was kind of worried about was the Season 1 seems to be scheduled for March 2022. I don't know about you guys, but that's a long wait. I mean, Battlefield 2042 right now doesn't have enough content as it is. The game is extremely stale, and I'm not going to lie, it is getting a bit boring. I've unlocked most of the attachments for most of the weapons, and I'm only really going for camos right now. DICE have already started their live service model, and we're starting to see a lot of new camos and content slowly being added to the game that is unlockable through challenges. I just hope that whatever DICE has planned for Season 1 will breathe some fresh life into Battlefield 2042. I do hope that we get some more maps for sure. I know a lot of people right now are complaining about the amount of maps in the game and just how pretty much none of them have any real good flow to them. You know, we have Hourglass, Discarded, Manifest, Kaleidoscope, Orbital, Breakaway and Renewal, I think. That's not a lot of maps, like 7 maps in a base game. Now, again, I talked about this in my last video. The reason I think there is only this amount of maps is because they spent way too much time designing them for 128 players, which of course, as I've said before, has such a negative effect on this game. But back onto the topic of Season 1, I really feel that Season 1 might be the only chance that this game gets to redeem itself and bring back a lot of those players that have just left for other games. And I'd also hope that the release date of March for the first season of this game is completely inaccurate in the game files. Again, 3 months to wait for maybe a possible specialist, a couple maps and a couple weapons is an extremely long time, and most people are just going to move on and play other games. I mean, there is so much choice out there right now. There's games like World War 3, Hell Let Loose, of course we have Call of Duty and Warzone, which, I mean, that's a whole topic for another video. But we can already see the shift of players right now between different games. For example, Battlefield 5 right now is almost on par with the amount of players that are currently playing Battlefield 2042. And I don't think that this is going unnoticed by both DICE and EA. I think they are definitely seeing the dramatic decline of players and the amount of people that are logging on to the earlier Battlefield titles. So let's just hope that that's going to spark some change and Season 1's release date gets pushed forward. As bad as this game sounds right now, it's not actually doing that bad. If we compare it to the release of Battlefield 5 that game took almost an entire year before it was even close to the experience that we all know and love. Now, I don't doubt that DICE and EA are going to turn Battlefield 2042 into a game that we really enjoy and that fits within this whole Battlefield series. If you're a Battlefield fan and you've played Battlefield games for a long time, you'll know that DICE and EA have quite a track record of having to pick up the pieces and really polishing their game after such a rocky release. Like I say, the masterpiece that is Battlefield 4, when that game came out, it was in complete shambles, and they managed to turn it around, and even today, Battlefield 4 holds up. The game is completely amazing, and I really enjoy every moment that I spend playing that game. So I do have complete faith that DICE and EA will turn this game around and make the experience fantastic. But for your average player who just hops on for a few nights a week and expects, you know, the game to provide a lot of content and entertainment for them, 3 months of the exact same maps, exact same weapons, exact same specialists and gameplay is an extremely boring experience, even for anyone. And it's going to mean that a lot of players leave for other games, which will be extremely sad for this franchise, because although I make videos criticising Battlefield 2042 and some of the decisions that the developers have made, it doesn't mean that I don't like the game. I really do love this franchise. I think when Battlefield does it right and they build this sandbox environment, that the game is unmatched with any other first-person shooter. You know, the sandbox environment, the freedom, the customization, there is just no game that really comes close to how other games in this franchise play. I do think that within a year's time, Battlefield 2042 will be completely turned around, and just like Battlefield 5, it will become a great game in the end. Because as history shows, DICE definitely has a reputation for getting off to a really rough start, but in the end, they always seem to win the race, so to say. So fingers crossed that the content will be coming a lot sooner than March of 2022. Let's also hope they can turn this game around to make Battlefield 2042 one of the best that they've ever made, because I feel that this whole franchise right now is on a very big tipping point, and if this game doesn't go well, I feel that the future of Battlefield is very, very bleak. And if we don't get more content and a lot sooner, the Battlefield franchise may be doomed to fail. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also turn on all notifications. Leave me a like below, and also leave me a comment and tell me what you think about Battlefield 2042, what you think of some of the points that I discussed in this video, and whether or not you're still playing the game. We're currently on the race to hit 1,000 subscribers, so again, please consider hitting that subscribe button, enable all notifications. You can also go ahead and go in the description, check out my Twitter, follow me on there. I post a lot of stuff about the game, and it's often a better place to interact with me a lot more. So again, I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, and let's just hope the Battlefield 2042 gets much better in the year 2022. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.